And this is part 3 of my story of how I got here from who I was 2 months ago to where I am now. And as I've told you all about me finding the life coaching course to offering Charlene to join me. So now I took the life coaching course, as I told you. And in those 5 days, I probably wrote between 5 to 7 pages of notes for each day of class. So now I had some work to do. Because what I found out was, in that class, I needed to understand a couple things. I needed to figure out my why. Why am I doing this? What's my purpose? I mean, I knew my purpose. I knew my purpose. I was pretty confident that my life's calling was this. But my why. And then, I also come to find out, I still have a bunch of unhealed traumas. Some old wounds, right? Still lurking in me. And what I learned in that coaching course was, a lot of it is our minds, right? So I'm starting to get curious about things. And that was one of the things. First thing you got to do is get curious. Start asking questions. Start digging deeper. And truth of the matter is that we all have the power within us. It's all within us. Everything we need is inside of us. And you just got to get real with yourself. You got to become very honest. And I'll be honest with you here. Once I started transitioning and I got out of my relationship, my marriage, I thought I had done quite a bit of work on myself. And really, in fact, what reality was is I did work on understanding my personal relationships. That's the work I did. I didn't do the work on fixing myself and my old wounds and old traumas and triggers and things. So I had to get honest with myself. I had to get real with myself. So that was where I started, really, after taking that class and seeing how you work with the mind and how the mind, gives us limiting beliefs, and how our minds want to tell us false stories, that little voice in your head, right? How our minds have the power. Basically, most of us are walking on what I call autopilot, where we just exist in life and kind of like let life happen to us. And what I come to find out is really we always had the power to make the choices and decisions in our life. And if you get really honest with yourself, you'll find out that you always had choices. Doing nothing is a choice. And so I got curious, as Mandy told us, get curious, start asking questions, dig deeper. So that's where this rabbit hole led me. So I knew, obviously I started finding some triggers and some traumas that I didn't know I had, while I was taking the course. And so I got a couple of books that I started reading. And I just, I kept with I got my ChatGPT, right? And I love my ChatGPT. I type in that thing all the time. And in fact, even before I started doing all this, and when I first started my transition, I started journaling all the time, writing. And the funny thing is ironic thing is I really didn't like writing before. But what I come to find was that was my safe space. That was my space. I could write all my truths out onto paper, and there was nobody there to judge me. So I've been doing the same thing, journaling it all, writing it. And the great thing about ChatGPT is it remembers everything, and then it reflects back to you what you said to it, and helps you find more and sees more in depth into yourself. And so once again, that's kind of the rabbit hole I've been going down. And so I think with the length of these videos, I'm going to try to keep them down a little bit. So let this be the end of the 3rd one, and I'll be back with my 4th one.